Hello, it's great to see you all again. Today, we will continue our journey to explore the wonders of technology, and this time, we will delve into the microscopic world of CPUs. Have you ever wondered how these tiny but powerful chips are made? We will explore this complex and fascinating printing process together. Welcome to Amazing Anomalies. Microprocessors are one of the most important inventions in the past 50 years. They control almost every electronic device, including the one you're using to watch this video. In 1971, the world's first commercial chip, the Intel 4004, contained 2,300 transistors and was considered a technological achievement. Today, there are billions of transistors on a single chip. And according to Moore's law, this number doubles every 2 years. Transistors are the most important component on a processor chip. You can't see them because there are millions, even billions, of transistors on a chip the size of your fingernail. As the name suggests, transistors are made from a semiconductor material, which is silicon. It's called a semiconductor because, depending on how it's treated, silicon can conduct electricity or insulate. Engineers have taken advantage of this half-and-half property to turn silicon into a microscopic switch. When a small current is applied to the gate of a transistor, it turns on or off. These transistors allow for the recording, processing, and transmission of digital signals, commands, and information in the form of 1 and 0. The number 1 corresponds to the on state of the switch, and the number 0 is off. Any letter or number can be represented as a string of number 1 and number 0. For example, this is Amazing Anomalies represented in binary code. Right now, as you're watching this video, these switches are turning on and off billions of times per second to interpret billions of number 0 and number 1 into the images you see and the sounds you hear. But how on earth can people create billions of transistors on a chip as small as a piece of candy? Just like building a house requires a foundation, transistors also need to be attached to some kind of base. The foundation of a microchip is made from quartz sand and is called a silicon wafer. The problem is that transistors are too small, dozens of times smaller than a bacterium, which means the silicon wafer used to place them must be extremely flat as a mirror, and free of any dust particles or bacteria to create it. A silicon crystal block with a purity of about 99.9%, weighing 200 kilograms, and with a diameter of about 20 centimeters, is cut into silicon wafers about 2/3 of a millimeter thick using ultra-thin, high-speed wires. After cutting, the silicon wafers are ground and polished to remove scratches on the surface. But even the most advanced mechanical polishing machines can't achieve the required flatness, so the silicon wafers are further polished chemically to achieve a roughness of less than 0.1 nanometers. Factories have to solve the problem of how to place billions of transistors, each about 200 times smaller than a red blood cell, onto the silicon wafers. The answer is that they don't place them, they print them. This task is handled by one of the most sophisticated devices in the world, photolithography machines, which cost between $300 and $400 million. Before being fed into the machine, each silicon wafer is coated with a liquid called a photoresist. Photoresist is very sensitive to light, like camera film. That's why this room has yellow lights, because otherwise, normal light would damage all the silicon wafers. Although extremely expensive, photolithography machines are essentially projectors. The difference is that instead of projecting movies, they project electrical circuit structures onto semiconductor wafers. A deep ultraviolet laser beam projects the circuit diagram of the transistors and etches it onto the silicon wafers, almost like how a projector shows your presentation slides, but with millions of times higher precision. Like when light passes through photographic film, the laser beam leaves an image of the transistor on the silicon wafer. In this way, a photolithography machine can print billions of transistors per hour. Then copper is poured into the grooves between the transistors to form ultra-thin wires, connecting billions of separate transistors into proper circuits. Although the transistors are nanometer-sized, the total length of the electrical circuits on a silicon wafer can be several kilometers long. Each finished silicon wafer, containing hundreds of microprocessors and trillions of microscopic electrical circuit components, is then cut and packaged into individual chips to be installed in phones, computers, and countless other electronic devices. And that's how people turn worthless sand and gravel into electronic superbrains worth hundreds of dollars. As always, remember to like the video and hit the notification bell. Goodbye and see you again.